Listen, I want to talk to you on the subject of launch out. BeLive has been such a trailblazing company in the area of broadcasting. And one of the things I do is I'm an author. These are a couple of my latest books here. These are Christian books. I'm a Christian author. But broadcasting and really harnessing the momentum of social media has been a critical part of my success. I also have a media company in which I produce live events, pre-recorded events, e-courses, those sorts of things. So BeLive has been groundbreaking because it's allowed me to be able to bring guests in an easy to navigate format. But so many of you that are watching this, you've got an idea. You've got a concept. You've got a gift from God. You've got something on the inside of you that's bigger than the world around you, but you have a major stumbling block called fear. And fear always binds. I always tell people you can recognize the presence of fear because it halts your movement and it halts your momentum. Whenever fear is present, you just feel stuck. And sometimes we're afraid of failure. Sometimes we're afraid of rejection. Sometimes we're afraid of the unknown. That's why I wanted to title my talk today, Launch Out, because I believe so many of you, to get from where you're at now to where God wants to take you, you've got to launch out. And I want to speak to you about the subject of launch out. Now let's pause and reflect on media. Why is media important? Well, media is a voice. Media both reflects and shapes culture. When we look at different eras, we can see different types of media being produced. If you want to impact culture, there's no better place than media. And in the previous generations, we had various forms of media, print media, radio. I remember, the days and the era of radio, especially when the advent of television came into play. It was a great transition from media that was mostly audio-based into visual-based. And I wasn't alive during this time. You probably weren't alive during this time, but the first movies were silent movies and the actors had to be able to express the whole story with their face. And then technology evolved and there were movies with sound, and then television came. And so media keeps moving, it keeps evolving. And it's very important that we get involved with media. If you have a business in the 21st century, whether it's a fitness business, whether it's a multi-level marketing business, whether you're like me, you're an author. When I got my first great publishing contract with a publisher, one of the things they looked at was my social media platform. So in any business endeavor in today's 21st century marketplace, you've got to engage media. Media is a storytelling business. That's what it is, and it's powerful. Now, television brought in the era of broadcasting. Today's era is the era of what I call narrowcasting. It's finding an audience and speaking directly to that audience and maximizing the potential of that audience. So where is the most dominant form of media today? Online media. In particularly social media. Social media is such a vital part of our daily lives. And to really engage in social media, you've got to ask yourself, what is my voice? What platform will I use? You've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got a lot of emerging platforms that are available, and visual content is key. The algorithms of Facebook tell us that if you post a live video, it's going to automatically shoot to the top of what people see in their feed if they're a follower of your page or they're a friend of yours. So video is king. That's why I believe we have got to launch out in the area of video. So you got to ask yourself those things. Also, it's very critical that you build your audience first before you ever ask them for anything. If you're selling a product, you want to gain their trust. You want to put out great content. You want to release things that will help your audience, whatever your audience may be, whether it's real estate, whether it's fitness, whether it's ministry, whether you're an author, whatever it may be. You want to engage your audience and give them a ton of good content before you ever ask them for anything. Now, let me give you a couple of key stats and then we'll dive into the topic of launch out. There are 3.2 billion social media users worldwide. So 42% of the population is engaged in social media. 2/3 or 68% of all American adults use social media. This is epic. This is huge. So you want to reach people, they are on social media. If you've got a great idea, you've got a great vision, you've got a great plan, social media is the place that you want to be. But you're going to have to launch out. The word launch means to hurl. It means launched at an arrow at a target. It means to release, to catapult, to send off, to send off. It means to spring forward. It means to enter energetically. So I believe there is a launch in your life, a launch out moment, to enter energetically. And I want to talk about 3 launch out keys, because I know some of you are saying, hey, I've got a great idea, but I can never do what you're doing on video. I promise you, you can, but you've got to confront fear. Fear will rob you, fear will blind you, and fear will stop you. Let me say it again. Fear will rob you, fear will blind you, and fear will stop you. And many of you have got one idea, one thought that has a whole lot of economy attached to it, a whole lot of changed lives attached to it, but fear is stopping you. And the first video you do, you might stumble. You might make a mistake. You know, the great thing about social media is that video talks like this one, it's not about being polished, it's about being honest. And so if your audience sees you make a mistake and you say, man, I just messed up my word, I just said something the wrong way, but I'm just going to keep on going, that'll actually build authenticity, because there are members of your audience that they're fighting fear as well. They're fighting to go to that next level. They're fighting to go to that next place. So don't feel like you can't do it. You have something to contribute in this grand place called the world. There's a reason you're alive. There's something in your voice. There's something in your mind that the world needs. There's a contribution out there. And again, for business people, for people trying to tap economy, I'm telling you, social media is where it's at. Imagine this. It used to take thousands and thousands of dollars to do something on television. Now, from your home, you can reach thousands of people on your phone. It's an amazing opportunity. So let me give you 3 launch out keys. I'm going to keep it very simple. Key number 1, you say, I don't know how to get started. Key number 1, believe in the message. You've got to have a message. So I write books. So a lot of my messages are about my books. Again, I'm a Christian. That's my place in the world. But if I've coached people in different areas. I've coached people in fitness. I say, look, people are unhealthy. They need to be healthy. You've got a message. If you don't believe in your message, nobody else is going to believe in your message. So one of the things you got to confront in your own heart is you got to confront that part of you that maybe does not believe in your own message. You got to be convinced that what you have is valuable, that your voice is valuable. A lot of times you're going to have to peel off some identity lies. You're going to have to peel off some things. You're going to have to change the way you think. You're going to have to work through some processes. And those are things that are too deep for me to cover in this brief amount of time. But you've got to believe in the message. In believing in the message, here's a critical question for your business, for your ministry, for your broadcasting, for whatever you're trying to do in the world. What problems will you solve? The world is waiting on a problem solver. The arrival of a problem solver is a game-changing endeavor. So whatever you're doing, fitness, technology, medical information, fashion, you're going to solve somebody's problem. It seems so simple, but you know what? What if I'm trying to get a job and I've gained a bunch of weight and I don't know really how to dress to look good when I go to a job interview, and you may know how to help me. You're solving a problem for me. So if I'm going to solve your problem, I believe in my message. That's why I can invite you to my seminar and tell you, hey, my seminar costs this much, because I believe in my message. I believe in what problems I'm going to solve for you. I know it's going to be of value to you. So key number 1 to launch out, believe in the message and ask this question: what problems will I solve? Key number 2, let me say this: all good businesses are businesses that address a problem. That every good business, every good marketable thing solves a problem, okay? Key number 2, believe in the messenger. This is huge. This is where some people need some counseling. They need some prayer. They need some therapy, because they don't believe in the messenger. They believe in the message. They believe that the problem can be solved, but they don't believe they're the one that can do it. You have valuable life experience. There's something in you that can help somebody. I heard one author give the analogy: if all you do is bake cookies, there's someone out there that needs a good cookie, but you got to believe in yourself. You got, and I'm a Christian minister. We got different people on here who are of different faiths, but as a Christian minister, I believe God believes in me. I believe that God invested so much in me. That's why he came to earth. So I can enter into the world believing, hey, if God believes in me, I should believe in myself because God doesn't make any junk. So wherever your faith is, or if you have no faith, you know what? You're still valuable. Let me encourage you. You're still valuable. And there's something in you that will help a lot of people. So you have to believe in the messenger. And you got to ask yourself this question: what is my unique voice? There's something about your voice that can change the world. When I began to write about certain topics, I would realize somebody else already wrote about that. And a friend of mine said, they did, Ryan, but your audience wants to hear your perspective because your voice is unique. So you've got to work through identity issues. You've got to work through condemnation. You've got to work through rejection, and you got to peel those layers off so that not only do you believe in the message, but you believe in the messenger. And I believe that level of confidence can really help you. And then the third point, believe in the audience. Who connects with you, and who do you want to connect to? Is your message for single moms? Is your message for middle-aged guys? Is your message for young people? And naturally, who's already connecting to you? That is a key indicator. So to summarize, 3 launch out keys: believe in the message, believe in the messenger, and believe in the audience. You are a problem solver, and video is a way you can connect. Don't stay on the shore, but launch out. Get started, learn as you go, and maybe get a good coach. I always tell people sometimes it's going to take a coach to help you get where you want to go.